The wait is over. God is releasing what you prayed for. You've been standing in faith when it didn't make sense. You've been walking through seasons that tested everything within you. You've cried in silence, worshiped through pain, and kept believing even when nothing was moving. But hear this, with the authority of heaven, the wait is over. God has heard every whisper, seen every tear, and recorded every act of faith you've made. What you thought was a delay was divine preparation. What you thought was silence was God setting the stage. Now the heavens are opening, and the answer that once seemed far away is being released into your life. There are moments in life when it feels like time itself stands against you. You pray and see no change. You sow seeds of faith but reap no visible harvest. You wonder if your prayers are bouncing off the ceiling. Yet behind the scenes, God has been moving, aligning, and orchestrating. The silence was not denial, it was design. God was preparing the ground so that when the blessing comes, it won't break you, it will build you. When the answer comes, it won't just satisfy a need, it will elevate your purpose. Many have given up in the waiting season. They stopped praying because the answer didn't come fast enough. But you didn't. You held on. You may have stumbled, but you didn't quit. You may have cried, but you didn't curse the process. You stayed faithful. And now that faith is about to speak for you. God is releasing what you prayed for, not because of luck, not because of timing, but because your faith touched heaven. You refused to let go, and now heaven refuses to stay silent. Every delay had a reason. Every season of waiting was part of God's higher plan. He was shaping your heart, building your strength, and teaching you to trust His timing, not your own. When you thought nothing was happening, God was working in unseen ways. The very thing you've been praying for was being prepared while you were being processed. The wait was never wasted. God was developing the maturity required to carry what you've been asking for. Some prayers are answered instantly, but others require transformation before manifestation. And now you have been transformed enough to receive what God promised. God has a perfect rhythm for everything under heaven. He knows when to open the door, when to say wait, and when to release the floodgates. For too long you've been standing in faith without seeing fruit, but this is the moment where your patience meets His promise. The spiritual atmosphere around you is shifting. What was held back is being released. What was delayed is being accelerated. The drought is breaking, the chains are falling, and the blessing is being delivered. When God releases what you prayed for, it often comes suddenly. One moment everything looks ordinary, and the next everything changes. God does not need time, He needs timing. He does not move according to the calendar of man, but according to the divine alignment of purpose. And now that alignment has come. You've stepped into a divine moment where all that was held up is being set free. This is your appointed time. You've cried long enough. You've waited long enough. God is saying now, look back over your life and you'll see it. Every struggle prepared you for this release. Every disappointment taught you dependence. Every setback trained your spirit to trust. You thought you were losing, but you were learning. You thought you were being left behind, but you were being positioned. God never forgot your prayer. He simply waited for the right moment to release it. Because if it had come too early, you wouldn't have known how to hold it. But now, you're ready. The release you've been praying for is not a trickle, it's an outpouring. It's not a partial answer, it's a full manifestation. God is not giving you fragments, He's restoring the whole. He's about to pour out favor in areas you didn't even ask for. When God releases, He releases in abundance. He does not deal in scarcity. When He opens a door, no man can close it. When He lifts you up, no voice of doubt can bring you down. When He blesses you, even your enemies will have to acknowledge that it was God who did it. This is the season where your faith is about to speak louder than your pain. What you've been carrying in prayer is about to be birthed into reality. God is releasing answers to old prayers. solutions to long battles, and blessings you forgot you even asked for. You've reached the moment where prayer meets promise, where persistence meets provision. You've wrestled in faith long enough. Now the breakthrough is being born. You see, the waiting season was not punishment, it was proof. Proof that you could trust God even when you couldn't trace Him. Proof that you could believe even when you couldn't see. Proof that your faith wasn't conditional. Anyone can praise God when the blessing is visible, but only the strong can praise through the waiting. Only those anchored in faith can say, I still believe, when there's no evidence in sight. And because you did, God is rewarding you openly. The hidden faith of the secret place always leads to a visible harvest in the appointed season. Some of you have been waiting for years, waiting for the job, the breakthrough, the healing, the restoration, the answer that seems beyond reach. You've wondered if God forgot you. You've seen others receive what you've been asking for and thought maybe you were overlooked. But God does not forget His faithful ones. He does not ignore sincere hearts. You were never forgotten. You were being refined. And now, after the refining, comes the revealing. The gold in you is ready to shine. When God releases, He redeems time. All those years of waiting are not lost. They are multiplied back with interest. What took others decades, God can do for you in a moment. The divine release carries acceleration. Things will move fast. Doors will open quickly. And the favor that was once withheld will now chase you down. The same God who allowed you to wait is the same God who is about to overtake you with blessing. God often tests the heart before He releases the harvest. He watches how you handle silence, how you respond to delay, how you act when you're not seen. The waiting season exposes what's inside. But when you remain faithful, humble, and patient, God can trust you with more. The release is not just about receiving a thing, it's about being ready for the responsibility that comes with it. Some blessings require character, not just prayer. And now you have both. This release will not just answer a prayer, it will shift your destiny. God is about to prove to you that He was listening all along. He's about to show you that His timing is perfect. The same doors that were shut are about to swing open. The same people who doubted, you will have to watch the hand of God elevate you. What was once your valley will become your victory. What once brought tears will now bring testimony. God is not just giving you what you asked for, He's giving you what you were meant for. There is a divine urgency in the spiritual atmosphere. The things that were delayed are now moving swiftly. The promises that seemed distant are drawing near. You're standing at the threshold of fulfillment. The pain of your past is about to be outweighed by the power of your purpose. Every closed door, every missed opportunity, every painful goodbye, all of it was part of the divine design to bring you to this moment. God has not only heard you, He is responding now. Sometimes the release begins quietly. You might not see thunder or lightning, but you'll sense a shift within. Peace replaces anxiety. Strength replaces weariness. Clarity replaces confusion. That inner change is the first sign of the outer release. God releases inwardly before He releases outwardly. When your heart is aligned, the doors begin to open. The release begins in the unseen and then manifests in the visible. Do not underestimate the power of this moment. You are stepping into a divine turning point. The same God who allowed you to be tested is now vindicating you. The tears that fell in private are about to be redeemed in public. The prayers whispered in midnight silence are about to echo in daylight victory. The release you've been waiting for will not just bless you, it will bless everyone connected to you. God is about to use your life as evidence that waiting on Him is never in vain. When God releases, He does it in ways no one expects. The same situation that once broke you will now bless you. The same door that closed will become a window of favor. The same opposition that tried to stop you will be used to elevate you. God's release comes with reversal. He turns mourning into dancing, fear into faith, and loss into laughter. The story that once hurt you will become the very story that heals others. You're about to witness the power of divine timing. God's hand has been arranging everything for this very season. What felt like endless delay was simply God aligning the right people, the right places, and the right moments. He's not just releasing what you prayed for, He's ensuring it arrives in perfection. The blessing will fit your life like a key fits a lock. Nothing missing, nothing broken, everything made whole. Now, you must prepare your heart to receive. Many pray for release, but few prepare for it. When God releases the answer, you must have the capacity to hold it. Expand your faith, widen your vision, expect more than what you prayed for. Because God never gives halfway blessings. He always exceeds the expectation. The release will be greater than the request. You're not just coming out of a waiting season, you're stepping into a manifestation season. You've been tested in the dark, but you're about to be rewarded in the light. The hidden hand of God is turning into the visible move of God. You've been faithful in the wilderness. Now get ready for the promised land. The tables are turning. The tide is shifting. The answer is here. When God says the wait is over, every obstacle loses power, every delay collapses, every wall falls. Nothing can stand in the way of what God has ordained. You are about to see movement where there was stagnation, progress where there was pause, and clarity where there was confusion. The same place that once looked barren will now overflow with abundance. Lift your head and believe again. Speak faith. Expect miracles, because what you prayed for has reached heaven's appointed time. The answers are coming, not as random blessings, but as divine fulfillment. The wait was long, but the reward will be lasting. God's timing may not have matched your desire, but it always aligns with your destiny. And destiny is what's being released now. The wait is over, not because the world says so, but because heaven has declared it. The spiritual gates are opening, and favor is being poured out. The things that once resisted you will now yield to you. The paths that seemed blocked are being cleared. The season of tears is shifting into a season of triumph. God's release is final, unstoppable, and undeniable. You are about to walk into answered prayers that will leave you speechless. The same mouth that prayed in weakness will soon testify in strength. The same hands that reached in hope will soon hold the manifestation. God is releasing not just blessings, but breakthrough. The kind of breakthroughs that rewrite your story, redefine your identity, and restore your joy. Don't let fear hold you back now. The waiting season required patience. The release season requires boldness. Step forward. Speak faith. Move in confidence. The door that God opens is meant for you to walk through. This is your of divine appointment. You've been approved, prepared, and positioned. Everything you need for this next season is being released. You are not stepping into something ordinary. You are stepping into something sacred. The release carries divine weight. It's more than material. It's spiritual. It's God's response to your faith, your endurance, your trust. The release is not random. It's a reward. You passed the test, and now the reward is manifesting. Every promise God has made is tied to timing, and now that timing has come. The wait is over. Heaven has authorized your release. Angels are moving on your behalf. Doors are opening. Opportunities are appearing. The very things you prayed for are being transferred from promise to possession. You're no longer standing at the gate. You're walking through it. You've waited, you've believed, you've endured, and now you will see. God is not just releasing what you asked for. He's releasing everything connected to it. Restoration, peace, strength, provision. He's about to overwhelm you with the fullness of His goodness. You're not just receiving an answer, you're receiving abundance. The wait refined you. The release will define you. Lift your spirit. Stand tall. The season of frustration is ending. The season of fulfillment has begun. God is not a man that He should forget. Every prayer you've ever prayed was stored, and now the storage of heaven is being emptied into your life. The rain is falling. The ground is breaking. The wait is over. God is releasing what you prayed for. When God releases what you prayed for, it's not just an answer, it's a revelation. It reveals that every hidden detail, every moment of confusion, and every night of uncertainty had purpose. It shows that God was never late. He was intentional. What seemed like waiting was actually alignment. While you were asking for a door to open, God was strengthening your legs to walk through it. While you were asking for a blessing, God was preparing your spirit to hold it without breaking under the weight of it. The delay was not meant to destroy your hope, but to deepen your trust. God uses waiting not to punish you, but to perfect you. There are things that only time can teach. There are lessons that only silence can reveal. And God, in His divine wisdom, sometimes withholds what you want so He can give you what you need. You may have thought you were ready, but God knew there was still work to be done within you. He wasn't withholding the blessing. He was building the vessel. He wanted to make sure your heart could handle the weight of glory attached to your prayer. Because what God gives is never small, never fragile, and never shallow. It carries eternal weight, purpose, and power. Now, as the release begins, you will notice something different. The peace of God will precede the manifestation. Before you see the door open, you will feel a calm within your soul, a knowing that it's done. That peace is the first wave of release. It's the confirmation that the heavens have moved. God does not release chaos. He releases clarity. He does not release confusion. He releases confidence. When the release comes, you will not need to chase it. It will flow toward you, drawn by divine command. You won't have to force it, manipulate it, or beg for it. When God releases, it comes naturally, easily, beautifully, in perfect timing. You've walked through the wilderness, but now you're coming out carrying fruit. You've endured the fire, but now you shine with refinement. You've walked through storms, but now your roots run deep. The same situations that tried to break you only built endurance in you. And now that endurance is what will sustain you when the blessing arrives. God didn't allow those trials to crush you. He allowed them to strengthen your foundation, because what is coming is greater than what you've lost. The next chapter of your life carries double for your trouble, beauty for ashes, and strength for sorrow. The wait prepared the soil of your soul to receive this harvest. Many underestimate how intentional God is in the details. You see, nothing in your story was random. Every detour, every disappointment, every unanswered prayer was an essential thread in the fabric of your destiny. God was weaving everything together so that at the appointed time, it would all make sense. When the release comes, you'll look back and realize that what once broke your heart was actually protecting your purpose. What once felt like rejection was redirection. What once seemed like loss was preservation. The wisdom of God is often hidden in what we call delay. When God releases, He doesn't just give answers, He restores identity. Waiting can sometimes make you forget who you are. It can make you question your worth, your place, your value. But when the release comes, it reignites the truth of who you've always been. You'll remember that you were never forgotten, never invisible, never unloved. You'll realize that even when the world looked away, God's eyes were on you. His favor never left you. It was simply waiting for the appointed moment to reveal itself. The release reminds you that your name is known in heaven and that your destiny is still secure in God's hands. There's something powerful about divine timing. When it's your time, no one can stop it. No opposition, no delay, no system, no person, no power can interfere with God's decree. What He releases cannot be reversed. When He commands favor, it finds you. When He opens a door, it stays open. You may have been last in line before, but when God releases, He moves you to the front. You may have been overlooked, but the release puts you in a position where you cannot be ignored. The same people who once questioned your faith will now witness your fulfillment. And it won't be coincidence, it will be divine confirmation. There's a moment in every believer's life when prayer turns to praise, not because everything is visible yet, but because the Spirit knows something has shifted. You can feel it in your bones, sense it in your soul. It's a spiritual awakening that says the wait is over. You may still see the same walls around you, but they're already cracking. You may still hear silence, but heaven has already spoken. When God releases, the evidence follows the decree. The manifestation is simply the echo of what has already been decided in the unseen. Now, do not mistake the release for the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a new season. The release doesn't mean rest from purpose. It means responsibility within promise. When God releases, He expects stewardship. The blessing comes with instruction. The opportunity comes with obedience. The reward comes with refinement. You must walk carefully in this new season, guarding your spirit, your words, and your focus, because what you're carrying now is precious. It's not just for you, it's for those who will witness God's faithfulness through you. The release was not meant to elevate your comfort, it was meant to magnify God's glory. You have entered a moment where faith and fulfillment meet. The invisible and the visible are aligning. Every word God spoke over your life is taking form. The same power that sustained you through the waiting will sustain you through the blessing. But hear this, don't rush the manifestation. Don't let impatience rob you of peace. The same patience that brought you here will preserve you here. God's release unfolds layer by layer, moment by moment, so you can handle it in fullness. Remember, the blessing God releases carries light. It will expose what doesn't belong. When His favor descends, it separates. You may notice people drifting, opportunities changing, or certain doors closing just as others open. That's not loss, that's purification. God removes what cannot handle your next level. He clears the atmosphere so that nothing corrupts the release. The pruning that comes with promotion is protection. Don't cling to what He's cutting away. What's leaving was never meant to walk into what's coming. As the release begins to unfold, walk humbly. Don't let pride take root in your success. Remember the tears that watered your prayers. Remember the nights you had nothing but faith to hold on to. Stay grateful, because the same God who releases can withhold, and the same God who gives can test again. The power of the release is not just in receiving, but in remaining grounded in gratitude. True maturity is not measured by what you receive, but by how you respond to what God gives. And make no mistake, the release will draw attention. Others will notice the shift in your life. They will see the favor, the peace, the abundance, and some will wonder, how did this happen? Let your answer be simple and sincere. It was God. Not your skill, not your plan, not your network, but the unseen hand that guided you, lifted you, and sustained you. When you give glory to God for the release, you multiply its reach. Gratitude keeps the flow of favor open. Pride shuts it down. You are stepping into a realm where your words carry power. You've prayed, waited, and now God is trusting your voice. Speak life, not doubt. Speak abundance, not fear. Speak what aligns with faith, not what agrees with circumstances. The same tongue that declared your faith in the dark must now declare praise in the light. What you speak in this season will shape what you see. The release will respond to your confession. Some of you have been asking, why now? And the answer is simple, because you're ready now. You've matured in ways you don't even realize. You've developed endurance, discernment, and strength. God can trust you now with what you once would have mishandled. The trials were never about pain. They were about preparation. You've grown through what you've gone through. And now that you've passed the test, the release has been authorized. You are not the same person who began this journey. The waiting changed you. It humbled you, deepened you, made you more dependent on God. And that's exactly what was needed. Because when you carry the blessing now, it will not carry you away from God. It will draw you closer to Him. The release is not a distraction. It's a demonstration of His faithfulness. What God releases will not lead you astray. It will bring you peace, purpose, and alignment. So lift your spirit. Rejoice even before you see it, because it's already done. You're standing in the fulfillment of prayers that once seemed impossible. The same God who promised is the same God who performs. The same voice that said wait is now saying go. The same silence that tested you is now breaking into a sound of abundance. The release is not coming. It has begun. Every area that was once barren is about to bloom. Every place that was once dry is about to overflow. The wait was long, but the reward will be lasting. You've endured the process, and now you will enjoy the promise. You've trusted the unseen, and now you will testify of what is seen. The doors are opening, the paths are clearing, and the answers are manifesting. God is not withholding anymore. He is releasing. The season of stillness is giving way to movement. The season of longing is turning into living. The promise that felt distant is now standing at your doorstep. You prayed in faith. Now you will live in fulfillment. You held on when others gave up. Now you will rise when others wonder how. You believed when no one else understood. Now you will see what others thought was impossible. Because when God releases, He does it so completely, so beautifully, so perfectly, that no one can deny it was His hand. And as you walk into this new season, remember, the wait was never in vain. It was the womb of your miracle. And now, the time of birth has come. The wait is over. God is releasing what you prayed for. So now, as you stand at the edge of your breakthrough, take a breath and feel the weight of what God has brought you through. Every tear you cried was counted. Every night you whispered, His name was heard. Every silent act of faith, every moment you chose to trust instead of turning away, became the foundation of what is now being released into your life. You didn't wait in vain. You waited with purpose. You stood when everything told you to sit down. You believed when everything told you to give up. And now, God is moving in your life because you refused to let go. The same hands that carried you through the storm are now placing blessings in your grasp. This is your moment to step forward, not in pride, but in gratitude. Don't let the blessing make you forget the one who gave it. Don't let comfort silence your worship. Let this new season be marked not by what you receive, but by how deeply you remain surrendered to God. Let your heart stay soft, your spirit humble, your faith unshakable. Because the release is not just about receiving what you prayed for, it's about becoming who you were always meant to be. God doesn't just give to fill your hands, He gives to awaken your soul. Now is the time to renew your devotion. Speak to God in the quiet hours. Thank Him before you ask Him. Honor Him with your actions, not just your words. Let your life become the living proof that waiting on God is never wasted. There will be more mountains ahead, but this time you will climb them with peace. There will be more tests, but this time you will face them with strength. You have learned that God's timing is never off, that His silence is never neglect, and that His plan is always for your good. Carry that truth like fire in your spirit. Look around you. This moment is sacred. Heaven has not forgotten you. The earth itself has shifted to make room for what God has spoken over you. Walk with boldness. Live with faith. Speak with conviction. Don't shrink yourself to fit the past. Don't apologize for being blessed. This is not luck. This is divine favor. And when God blesses you, it's not just for you, it's so His goodness can flow through you. Be a vessel of hope, a carrier of light, a living testimony that faith in God still moves mountains. If there is one thing you must take from all of this, let it be this truth: God is faithful always. When everything else fades, when people change, when doors close, His faithfulness remains. Trust that. Build your life on that. Let every decision, every thought, every plan begin with that knowledge. The wait may have been long, but it brought you to a deeper understanding of who God is, steady, sovereign, and sure. And when you live from that place, nothing can shake you. So rise up, lift your head high, speak the words your heart has held for so long. God, I trust you. Let that be your anthem. Let that be your prayer. Let that be the fire that fuels every step you take from this day forward. Because the wait is over, but your walk with God continues deeper, stronger, and filled with purpose. Go forward with faith that does not waver, gratitude that does not fade, and courage that does not bow to fear. Let your life declare to the world that those who trust in God will never be disappointed. And when you wake tomorrow, remember this moment. Remember that you stood in the presence of release, that the same God who sustained you through waiting is the same God who will sustain you in blessing. Let every breath be a testimony of His mercy. Let every victory point back to His power. You have seen His hand move. You have felt His presence near, and you have witnessed His promise come to pass. Now walk boldly into what He has prepared for you. For the wait is over, and God has released what you prayed for.